All right.
Camera rolling.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lupita Carrasquillo, and I am a member of Brown and Proud Press. And this video that we're making right now is going to be the way that we connect to you and get the opportunity to teach you about what zines are. We can teach you how to make zines, as well as a bunch of other stuff, which I'm about to get into. You're going to see other people from BPP as well. You're going to learn about them and their process and why they make zines. And I'm going to try not to say zines so much until I actually explain what it is. So zines are a form of independent publishing. We make zines about our struggles and our stories and things that are important to us. I think zines are rooted in DIY culture, do-it-yourself culture, where you don't need a lot of supplies or money or access to a lot of things in order to make them. And that's a really important form of art, because we know that not everyone has money to buy, a bunch of paints or really fancy equipment for, making other things. So with zine making, all you need is paper, a pen, and you can, or a camera, or a lot of different things, and you can make a zine. So zines are not just physical things that you have. Zine making is a whole community and culture. We have been able to travel to different places and meet other zinesters and be able to vend and trade and learn about what different people across the country are doing. And these are young people, these are people of color, these are folks that are telling stories that the mainstream media is not telling. So we make zines to tell real stories from ourselves, because we know that there's a lot of misinformation about people out there, and we just want to give a true, accurate portrayal of, for me, what a 24-year-old woman in America right now is doing, especially at a time like this. So we use zines to challenge the dominant narrative, which means that we publish stories from people of color and queer people and any kind of marginalized person, and we ensure that that is being put out to give truth to their experience, to validate their experience, and to make other people feel less alone. Because the dominant narrative right now is a story, a script. They are in the news headlines, they're in storylines of books and shows, and they usually portray people of color, queer people, trans people, as a very limited thing, as a persona or a character or a stereotype that's not healthy, and that comes with any part of your identity. So challenging the dominant narrative is really important for us, because we know that if we talk to 10 people who were all undocumented and we ask them about their experience, they might have a few things in common, but we're going to get 10 different stories, and each one of those stories should be told, and not just like the basic cookie cutter mainstream version of that. So that's a thing that we try to do in our zine making, but we also try to do that in the events that we put on to both teach and share poetry and zines. We have events where the community can get together, have fun, and talk about zines, be able to buy artwork from other creators, but also just to have a space where we live out the values we talk about in our zines, to have safe spaces where we can get together and have a good time, and really enrich each other and stuff. So that's another thing that we create outside of just the physical zines that we make. So we're offering the world stories told by us, and we also believe that zine making is a very legitimate form of telling history. History is not just found in textbooks, it can be found in a lot of other places, and zines are a primary source for information of what is being produced by people today, especially young people and people that don't have a platform to tell their stories right now. So I'm gonna pause and we're gonna keep going with this. Whatever. Okay, bye.
Cut. Action. Hi, my name is Luz Magdaleno Flores. I'm one of the BPP members from. Damn, I need to start over. See?
Oh my
It is
God.
nerve-wracking.
Yes.
So you just want to focus on zines, what zines are to me? Okay, hi, my name is Luz Magdaleno Flores. I've been a zine maker since 2015, so like 5 years now. But I was actually talking to Lupita the other day, and I was telling her that I started doing layout design in high school for our school newspaper when I was a sophomore in high school, so like a while ago. And I think that prepared me for like designing zines with Brown and Proud Press. So I started making zines with Alvaro Zavala, which is one of the illustrators behind BPP's art. For example, our logo. And this is one of our first zines. It was released in January 12th, 2015. And it was called Serio. And in this one, we shone a light on a lot of activists from across the nation. And it was really fun to make this. It's super DIY. And then this issue was in dedication of the Chicano movement. When I think of what being brown and proud means to me, it's definitely being like a Chicana, identifying with being brown as a Mexicana. And I'm really proud about this issue that we did, showcasing a lot of badass Mexican American, Chicano identified people. But after that, I went on to join Brown and Proud Press. Brown and Proud Press was started by other folks in 2011, and I became friends with them. I went to an open meeting that they had where we can do like a creative write-up time or whatever, and I went and I just clicked immediately with what the mission was for Brown and Proud Press and bringing people together and showcasing creatives through independent publications. And I got involved right away. We made home zine together, a lot of anthologies that I helped design, and basically bring to life by printing. Printing, if you make zines, I think printing is one of the biggest challenges because all printers have different programming, and just laying out your zine in a particular way and getting the pages right is a whole art to itself. It's challenging, but it's really rewarding. And I am also a photographer. One of my favorite zines that I've made for myself is Bajito and Suavecito. This was shortlisted actually by Broken Pencil in Canada, and it's pretty fun. I just like taking pictures of lowriders or like portraits of friends or like badass people that I just find like it's just beautiful. I like capturing things of that relate to my identity. And so lowriders, of course, being from Southern California, I have to cover wherever I see them, no matter where I am. And another zine that I put out was a poetry chapbook. This was years in the making, actually. It started out by writing poetry, mostly revolving around romance in my own diaries, and having this idea of making a chapbook that I designed from, literally I had sketches that I wanted it to be a loteria pera. Pera to be synonymous with being like, you know, something that is kind of, you shame women for being, or etc. But also my great grandma's favorite fruit, and so in my altares growing up, I always had peras and honoring the women in my family, my ancestors, and so I wanted to do that. And then the Virgen that my family prays to is the Virgen de Zapopan, so I wanted to feature that in the back as kind of being like a protective spell for whoever gets the zine, or for my own poetry, wherever this goes. You know, you put out a zine and it's like your baby. You work so hard on it, and you put in work to figure out what you want your design to look like, and so you want it to be protected, whoever's hands it lands on, you know. This is I'm so proud of this zine. Even though like I didn't submit this for any awards or anything like that. I just kind of printed a small batch and like sold them at Zine Fest. But it's one of my favorites. I also like took a picture of like a little toallita that my family made in Mexico, and so I included that in the layout too. And so that's something that you could do with zines, is that you don't just have to use images from the internet or digital images captures or whatever. I use stickers. You could use stamps. I physically stamped some of my zines. I include selfies. So some of your favorite selfies, you can also include them. You could get real creative, and I think that's one of my favorite things about zines, is that you can make it about whatever you want, and create a platform for yourself or your art, and not really having anyone censor you or give you rules on what that has to look like or how you have to spell things right. I'm bilingual, and so I always felt like growing up as trying to be a writer, going to school for journalism, I was always corrected harshly for being bilingual. And I think that Brown and Proud Press was a platform that didn't shun me for that. Instead, we celebrated each other for writing poems or stories that were in Spanglish, or whatever language that you want to print your zines in. And we celebrate that. You don't have to assimilate, So, yeah.
Hello, my name is Pierre Pandy, aka Red Panda, aka Peter Pan G, aka the independent variable, aka on your computer screen and yet to be, whatever. But thank you for tuning in. All right, thank you for giving us your time. I'm a Los Angeles native. I graduated from USC. I also have a degree in culinary arts. When I was at USC, we studied a kind of theory of multiple disciplines called polymath. And I think the concept of having multiple disciplines or perspectives really comes through in zine making. I moved to Chicago 2 years ago, and I became a high school teacher. I know, don't throw anything at me. I don't have any homework for you. But I've been rocking with BPP for a long time. I don't know exactly when I went to my first event, but a couple of cumbias and a couple stanzas later, here I am, the youngest member of the group. So that's awesome. I am a poet. I put out books in the past. I put out zines of my poetry. I have a beautiful cat. Priscilla has been crawling around here. But I think it's a great kind of postmodern or new school way to get your ideas out there. Whatever you're into, if you're into photography or poetry or telling a story or just telling or sharing your point of view, however you want to do it, a zine is a great way to expose people to your art and get feedback, or your expression and get feedback. And especially now, it's nice to get something that is paper in your hand with kind of the intimacy of a birthday card, the person who is giving it to you, or the person it's from, made it themselves. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey, you know what? I hope you guys enjoy it. Cut here. Start here. I hope you guys enjoy it. Enjoy it, guys. Hey, guys. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Enjoy it.
Hey.
Hey. Anyway, so that's me, Pierre Pandy. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mayra Cortez. I've been part of Brown and Proud Press for 2 years. I discovered Brown and Proud Press by finding one of their events on Facebook, and it was cool. I saw a lot of great performers, poets, and musicians, and it was just a great vibe. I loved everything about it. Being part of Brown and Proud Press, we center people of color, Black, Brown, Indigenous folks, and it was just cool to be part of a community that I felt I belonged in. And I wanted to join because I was a photographer and I use photography as a way to cope with like depression and anxiety. I really get lost in like creating things, and it's just easy and accessible to have a camera. Well, that's not true. But yeah, so I joined Pineapple Press, and it was really cool. Like, everyone is a badass creative. They all have their own mediums, and we come together to create zines. Zines are very beautiful. The work that I do on my zines is photography, and I'm very body positive, so for me it's important to show different body types, you know, to feel liberated, and yeah, it's beautiful. So it really helped me create more, or focus more on what I want to do, and, you know, share my voice in a zine. So that's me.